Hello, and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Oh, okay. Wow. I can say that I am exhausted and I am just bewildered with how a lot of men are perceiving us or how they think of us. Because especially politically, I'm seeing a lot more since that Trump guy got into yeah. But also with dating and everything. Because I've told you stories about Mr. Lockakey and Mr. No Heart. Mr. Lockakey, he was just jealous of everybody, but he really couldn't stand when a woman was trying to do what she needed to do. It's like he'll love bomb you to entrap you. But then, like when I was in the middle of my second master's, all of a sudden, you're just trying to make me look bad. This is gonna make me look bad. And then he'd start kicking the wall and yet going outside and yelling and screaming and everything because I'm in the middle of a test. And I I remember I paused the test, got in my car, drove up to a McDonald's and finished it because he was yelling and screaming so much. And yeah, I had to I was moving because it's a time test, but I couldn't finish the test with him around at all. And part of it was because I am a woman. He couldn't stand that a woman was doing so much more than him. And I know I brought up the whole GED in a previous episode, but I'm mad at him because he lied to me, not because he has his GED. I know there's millionaires who have GEDs, and even Einstein, he dropped out. And he's brilliant. So I know there's smart people, but don't lie about it. That's what gets on my nerves. And when you lie about it, but then you have the nerve to say the only reason I got either my positions or my degrees or anything like that is because either I'm a woman or because I'm black or because I'm a black woman. Don't do that. It's like men just act like women are the dumbest creatures on earth. They just think that our only mission is to conceive children, and that is the only thing we are able to do. But whose brains develop faster or mature faster? Yeah, women. Who goes through pain throughout their entire, especially once puberty starts? Like men, they've done the cramp test. I forgot what you call it or whatever, but they hook these things up, and with electrical currents or whatever, they allow men to feel how women feel. And I think it was the Try Guys, or it was a group of guys, they actually even put it against women, against the men. And the women were like, this tickles, this is nothing. And the men were like, are you serious? This hurts. Yeah, welcome. But when men say we are not strong, yeah, have your cycle while you're doing an important meeting, while you're teaching in a classroom, while you're performing surgery, while you're having to live life, or even with, like, if you have a child or like even a toddler and everything, you're trying to take them to the park and live your life, but then work your job and live your life. Men keep saying women are weak and emotional creatures when they could even stand taking a birth control test, like the pill, because there was a study where they were trying birth control pills on men, and they had to end the study because men were getting too emotional and they couldn't stand it. But then they keep blaming it on women being emotional. Okay, well, you can't even handle the emotions, you can't even handle the pill, so we're stronger for that too. And then not just cramps, but it's like I haven't had a child yet, but the pain of childbirth, the pain from miscarriage, emotionally and physically. Because yeah, the man, he'll be like, yeah, well, some men are happy, but anyway, some men are going to be disappointed and sad. But then how do you think women feel? Because that was a part of them, that was in their body. And so that's one reason why with Republicans in the politics, it's like now they're even arresting women who have miscarriages. They like you have to prove that you had a miscarriage. It's like some women they want children, like I want children, but my like our bodies say differently. It's not our choice. But then they want to jail us or imprison us. You don't like and then what okay, what about all of these Republican white male who paid their mistress to have an abortion? You're not going to arrest them, are you? What about the men who pay the woman to get it? Because for the woman who's going to keep it, but then the guy's like, no, I'm cheating on my wife. She can't find out. I can't have evidence of my betrayal or me breaking my vows, my Christian vows, where, yeah, you know how it is. You know what happened. Yeah, no, though, don't even get me started with that. But it's just really annoying and frustrating because a lot of men keep saying that they're the leaders, they should have control, they should, like, education wise, women should, like, even some churches who say women shouldn't be leaders of churches because in the Bible it says so. And then in the household the man is the king of the household. Or at my church they were like, yes, like the woman, you're submissive, so that means it's like if a man says something, you're not supposed to argue, you are not supposed to disagree. And so, but then while I'm dating, I put, like, especially after my nightmare date, which I told a little about a couple episodes ago, I put my standards. Because if I'm going to get married and you're expecting me to not argue, because, like, I'm not even an argumentative person. But if I know you're doing something wrong or if I know you're doing something stupid, I'm going to speak my mind. I'm not going to yell it. I'm not going to scream it. I'm petty. So I'm just going to, like, sometimes, like with my ex, Mr. No Heart, when he was like, he slammed his fist on the counter or on his computer desk. You don't have to clean the recyclables. Once you use it, you just put it in there. No, in a documentary, I've watched many documentaries, and even on 2020, like, Barbara Walters, or like I forgot which person, but they did a whole thing on recycling and how people are messing up recycling and how important it is for the environment, and they mentioned even cleaning it. And so I'm trying to tell him, okay, maybe, like, let's look up one of the documentaries so you can watch it. He slammed his fist and yelled over cleaning recyclables. And I'm like, you know what? This is your house, you know? Okay. Yeah, and it's like, since you never want to get married, do you, boo? Because, yeah, it's like, I continue cleaning the recycle. Like, whenever I cooked, I cleaned because I want to save the earth. I want to do what we're supposed to be doing. And that's one reason why when I date, I ask some of these questions because I need someone who has common sense, or someone who, if you disagree, let's get on Google. Let's look it up. Let's really look it up. And like even a .gov or like any of the edus, let's find a reputable source, not just a blogger who thinks they know everything, but they really don't. So, but I'm just really getting tired because, like, especially in the dating world, there was just this one guy, which I had the screenshots of some of it, but I blocked him so quick because he with my standards. And if you've watched my dating nightmares, you already know of some of the nightmares and stuff I've been through with some of these jerks, bigots, racists, idiotic, uneducated fools and everything like that. But there's one guy who, oh, he was like, you're the most beautiful woman, blah, blah, blah. And so I'm thinking, like, sometimes when these guys write me, I'm like, okay, so they must have read my standards. So we start chatting. And next thing I know, he says that Trump is an amazing man. And he starts saying some garbage. And I'm just like, hold up, wait, what did you just like? I put two question marks. And I was like, yeah, you must have not read my profile. And this is why I just did an episode on why you need to watch and read profiles. Read them. Guys, read them. You went to school. It only takes a few minutes. And if you read them, it's like, yeah, they might be pretty, they might be cute, but if you're not compatible, they might be cute enough for 10 minutes of fun, but after that, what? After that, what? And or if you're so determined to marry cute, you have kids and everything, when you age and he's starting to wrinkle, what are you going to have then? It's like, if he doesn't agree or if you don't agree on anything, it's going to be arguments or just you in one room, him in another room, or whatever. It's like, I don't know. It's just, but it's just really annoying when I keep meeting men, or because even with that one guy with the question marks, he starts listing all of these lies that the some of the Republican Party keeps saying, and it's to a point where I'm just like, I was like, oh, okay, we're never going to agree, and I blocked them because I don't have time. Like, it's exhausting having to, like, okay, here's this source. Yeah, this proves that this statement is wrong. Okay, right here, this like because I used to do that. I'm exhausted. It's exhausting because there are so many people who are diving into the swamp of Trumphood, and it's just, oh. But anyway, with the dating apps or even with that guy, he was saying, it's like, instead of saying, oh, I see we disagree, or I see we look at politics, we're on the opposite ends of politics, he was just like, oh, no wonder people are writing you this stuff. It's like, I can't blame them. Wow. So now you're like, he wrote a lot of things, but basically telling me that I deserve to have people call me the R word, the N word, because like I post the screenshots in my profile. Sometimes they're scarecrows because then some men are too scared to post their disgust and hate for me and call me the, like, just a lot of disgusting names, or tell me that, or one of them over the, like, I think a few months ago, even telling me he'd need to shove something in my mouth to shut me up because Democrats are brainless. And yeah, I've had a lot of, but I'm gonna show soon one where the guy called me the N word a couple times, and then he blocked me. It's like, okay, so you're brave enough to call me out my name. And so, yeah, if you guys can help me find out who this person is, I'm gonna show it's really soon. But one episode at a time, because okay, even okay, with that one guy it was just annoying, but with a lot of the guys on dating apps, they keep telling me, oh, the last week I did an episode with the guy with the thick dreads or whatever, I forgot his name, but he was telling me I need to change my dating perspectives. So many men keep trying to tell me I need to change who I want to date. Okay, well, that means I'm not going to want to date him. That means I'm not going to be genuinely interested in him. I'm only going to date him so I can have a man. I'm not doing that. If I have to be single for the rest of my life, I'll be single for the rest of my life. I'm not going to settle with, especially, I'm not compatible in any shape or form with a Republican. I'm not. And it's like, if someone doesn't want kids, I want to adopt, I want to foster. But it's like, I've met men who tell me, oh, you don't need any kids, just take care of my kids. Yeah, it's like, oh, and you got money invested. Oh, you're starting a business. Yeah, yeah, just take care of my kids. Take care of my, no, Or since I don't have kids, oh yeah, you have an empty womb. You don't have any baby daddies. Yeah, I want you. Yeah, yeah, you're gonna be mine. I can't wait to put a baby in you. And then with my education, And this is why I have such a, like, I'm gonna yell it from the rooftop about my education because, again, I didn't find out until after I was diagnosed that there's a learning disability that comes with my disability. And so, all these years where teachers were comparing me to my perfect twin sister, she's smart, she's brilliant. But when teachers are saying I'm not trying, or I can't get it, or I'm lazy, or I need to, something's wrong with me, you know what? Yeah, I have a learning disability. And then I got to college and I finished with a learning disability, busted my tush off with a learning disability, bachelor's with a double minor with a learning disability. Then I went and got my master's when everyone told me I was going to drop out and not finish. I finished my master's. After my mother told me to my face when I remember I was so happy and excited when I got the letter of my acceptance of Ashford University. And I told my mom when she got home, because I cooked dinner, I did the laundry. So I'm like, you know what? Yeah, the house is together, dinner's done. So now I can tell her and whatever. And she looked me right in the eyes and said, "Why in the hell did you do that for?" Yeah. And so trying to get my education, I finished my first master's, started my second master's, but dating was horrible. And then this Mr. Lockakey kept writing me, and he was persistent. And then he love bombed me. No one else, like, there was one guy that I went on a date with, but he told me I had to either drop out of grad school to be with him, or he wanted nothing to do with me. And I kept running into, like, black men. I'm putting on blast. A lot of you black men keep saying and doing that, but do you realize what you're doing? It's like a lot of you don't want, like, powerful, smart women who are determined and that want to uplift themselves and move forward and everything, but you don't know what you're missing out on. You missed out on me because I've heard, like, yeah. Anyways, okay, I'm gonna move on, but it's like a lot of the white guys are jealous, but they would still date me. It's still bad, like with how they treat me, but they would at least date me. But a lot of black men, once they hear my education, they want nothing to do with me. So unless they're married, then they want me on the side. Yeah, I've found, yes, like I'm gonna get to where, like, there was a police officer, two police officers, the guy, like, guy in the army, and then there was the black engineer. Yeah, that's the, yeah, yeah. Anyway, like, men, if you're married, remember that. That's why you have your wedding ring to remind you. So anyway, I'm gonna have a part two, but with my education, like, he loved bombed me, and then I didn't want anything to do with them the night of the taco party, when the girls, like, they let me know he's lying, he's on probation, he's in school for his GED, so he didn't have his high school diploma. And it's not because of the high school diploma, it's because he lied, especially the probation. And he was like GED, or he didn't have the GED or any, like, education. It's like, how are you going to do that? Tell the truth. It's like, that's one thing that really gets on my nerves. I don't lie about who I am. But anyway, so I finished my second master's, broke up with him, and then I started dating Mr. No Heart. And at first, like, he knows I'm a sapiosexual. So at first, oh, he wanted to watch documentaries. Oh, he wanted to have long intellectual talks. But yeah, that only lasted 2 or 3 months. After that, he would be playing video games, and I would be sitting on his bed, either researching or, like, sometimes creating stuff for my first graders. Or it kind of evolved, but there was one point where creating stuff when I was teaching for 4 years at the inner city school. And then when my friend started a business, I was helping him. And then my ex wanted to, like, Mr. No Heart wanted to start a business, begged me to start it. He had no money, no credit or whatever, so he begged me to do it. I spent $2,500. But then 6 months later, he's like, oh, yeah, never mind, I give up. But he never paid me a penny back. But the equipment's in his house. And so now I have to save money for a U-Haul and movers to get it out and have a place to put it. But he, yeah, he doesn't feel bad whatsoever. And and that's the crazy part. I was literally doing something like he begged me to do this. And I was excited because I was just like, wow, okay. It's like he wants to get a business together. We're going to get this and save up for our house. We're going to save up so that we can have money growing. And like, because he kept saying he wants to date me for the rest of my life. Thank God I didn't fall for that. And I broke up with him after 7 years. But yes, I broke up with him. Like, because, yeah. And I knew I wanted to break up with him long before, but I was too scared because my walking was getting worse. And that's another problem, like with men's expectations, their sexism and everything. When they see me, they belittle me. Since I'm a woman, they belittle me. I'm black, they belittle me, or they have very low expectations of me. I still remember when there was a white guy who told me, Asians are smarter than you, all Asians. It's like, that might hurt, but someone needs to tell you, all Asians are smarter than you guys. It's like, black people are the dumbest people on earth. And he was like, you gotta know this. But then he was shocked when I blocked him because then he found me on another social media and then he tried to tell me it's like that I'm too weak to know the truth. So then I blocked him on that one too. And then he found me like, I'm like, okay, get a life, find a date. I don't know, like, do something. I was like, why are you like, you only want to be racist to people? Is that your hobby? You must be a Republican. Anyway, and okay, and I know not all Republicans are like this, but a lot of the ones that talk and write to me are. So if you watch my dating nightmares, I have over 200 screenshots that show why I feel the way I do with how the Republican Party have treated me and how they degrade me. Because they get so mad that on a dating site I say we can be friends, but I will not date a Democrat or I will not. I will only date Democrat, liberal, progressives. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. I will not. I will not date a Republican, Trump supporter, MAGA. Will never. That will not happen. And that's why when I meet a guy, if he doesn't talk about politics in his profile at all, I ask him. It's like, okay, where do you lie on the political scale? Some of them get mad, and I'm like, okay, never mind. And I block them. Just like that. I don't care. I'm not dating a Republican. I am not dating a Republican. I'm not compatible with a Republican. So why am I going to waste my time and date someone I'm not compatible with? That does not make any sense. But then a lot of the Republican men try to tell me that I'm not woman enough because I'm a Democrat or I don't know how to behave and how a woman is supposed to be. But I will continue this on the next episode or part two. Thank you for listening to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human and I will never date a Republican. It's like, you're human too. You're human too. But yeah, I have to make sure I put that out there. I will never, ever, ever, ever. It's like, I can be friends with some of them. There's, oh, what's her name? The one on The View, the Hispanic young woman. I was like, I don't know, it's like I adore her. If more Republicans were like her, I could get down. I'm like, okay, yeah, we can chill. We can go out for a smoothie, have brunch, whatever. But I keep meeting the ugly side of the Republican Party, the very ugly, racist, bigoted, sexist side of the Republican Party. Because I didn't even cover what they're saying about Kamala, even though their leader says that he loves touching women by the what? By the what? And how many women did he cheat on? Like with his wives, he cheated on each and every one of them. Each and every one of them. But they won't. But he said they say that he uplifts women. Yeah. Uh huh. Uh huh. You want to lie to yourself like that? You want to lie to yourself like that? Okay, I'm out.